So this is a slightly different style of video. I'm going to be reacting to my own gameplay, and this is not going to be something that I'm going to do consistently. I actually want to be making live commentary videos on me playing as Namor. My goal is to become the best Namor in this game. No one's really maining Namor anyway, and I think if I did, that'd be fantastic and become the best in the game. Now obviously I'm nowhere close yet, but obviously it's a process. The other thing as well is I'll only switch characters, to be honest, if they bring out a war machine that's a Vanguard. That's the only thing that might make me switch to a different character. So for the time being, right now, I'm going to main Namor because he's a solid character. I enjoy playing him and he's just good fun. Now at the start of this, I picked an Iron Man out the sky, which is really good fun. You can do that, by the way. Like, you need to focus on players that are kind of in the air. These are like Venoms, Spider-Mans, Iron Mans, Storms as well. And it's kind of tough because I like to focus on ground characters because it's a lot easier to hit, especially with Namor and his attack. But you'd see in this gameplay quite a bit actually that I focus a lot more on the ground characters. Like this Iron Man I didn't even notice whatsoever to some extent, and then he managed to get me. So like, you need to make sure you're focusing on characters, especially as Namor, that are like in the air as well. And perfecting your aim's like the number one thing with this character, by the way, because you need to be hitting your shots. If you're not hitting your shots, you're having a bad day, you might as well switch to a different character, to be honest. It's just the way he works. Obviously, if you've got a lot of practice with him, you're really good with him, then yes, you can still play as Namor. If you know how to use his abilities and stuff correctly as well, but hitting your shots is like literally the main thing with this character. Now here again, I didn't focus this Iron Man. If I focused him earlier, I would have got a kill here instead of just doing a bit of damage or nothing whatsoever. No, I did do some damage, but I could have actually killed him if I focused him a little bit earlier, so that's something I do need to get better at myself. Melee characters like Iron Fist, Black Panther, and some of the kind of like aimbot characters are really tough to fight against, man. Even picking an Iron Man out of the sky is actually relatively easy than fighting a melee character with Namor, just because of the fact that it's hard to track. I think if you had someone like Star-Lord, it'd be a lot easier, but trying to track these characters is so difficult for some reason. And on keyboard and mouse, I've watched other people play that are way better than me, and they're finding it a lot easier to track. And I don't know if it's something to do with the aim assist settings or what it is, but I'm not sure. But I do love this, by the way. So when you have a teammate that is Jeff the Shark and you get the little bubbles of movement, the movement bubble, obviously you get the health as well, is fantastic. Now I managed to save myself here, which is really cool because he spat me out, but because Namor can actually kind of glide, which I wish he could just like fly, that'd be great, but because he can glide, I managed to get back onto the map, which was really good as well. So you need to know how to save yourself when you need to. This Magneto was pretty decent, by the way, throughout this whole game. I tried to kill him a lot because he was a pretty solid player. And something I don't like about Namor's like ultimate attack is that it needs to be like literally on point for you to get any kills with it. I wish it did a little bit more kind of like splash damage, but that's just me particularly. I think maybe I'm not good at placing it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I think it needs to do a little bit more splash damage. That's just me personally though. And here, I couldn't even hit this guy. I don't know why. I managed to get a bit of assist damage there, and I managed to get a KO on a character that I didn't even see. That's because you can just keep firing on Namor. At this point, there's a cluster of enemies in front of me, so I'm just going to keep firing my shots, dealing damage, and seeing what I get, and I got a triple out of it. So that is a good way to use this character. Now, you don't always need to be super accurate, and that time I was super accurate, but sometimes when you see a cluster of enemies with Namor, you can just keep firing your shots because you can. You don't need to reload, you don't need to worry about that. So you just keep firing the shots. And obviously make sure you use your squids as well. They are important. They deal extra damage when you hit a target with your regular spear or the L2 attack as well. I wish that you could get like 3 of them. I think that would make it a little bit more powerful, a little bit more juicier when it comes to dealing damage with Namor. I don't really see any other way of buffing this character, but they do need to do it somehow because he needs a slight buff. I don't know how. Maybe he gains health when he's in the bubble shield himself. That'd be pretty cool. Again, I'm not really sure how they're going to buff him, but he does need one because he's not a super meta character, but he's not far off either. So with a slight buff, he could be a fantastic main choice for most people, and I'm going to main him anyway. But obviously people are not going to do that because it doesn't really make sense. He's not meta enough to do that. So at this point, I would have used my ultimate, which I'm trying to use here. And again, this is like the placement being not very good. So I tried to aim it just at the below the wall, but I ended up going after the wall. I don't really know what happened there, but I wasted my ultimate essentially, which was not ideal. Got wrecked by a Moon Knight. And that is that round over, which 20-2, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So what was quite cool with that is that our team's not even a perfect split right now. It's actually got 3 healers, 1 Vanguard and 2 DPS. And we're doing extremely well. So you don't need to have like a 2-2-2 split. And I've even done really good games. If the healer in your team is very good, you only need 1 if they know exactly what they're doing. And that's how good the player is. So if they know how to use their player and they're using the correct one, you only need really 1 healer in your team. You could even do just 1 Vanguard in your team as well, actually, if they know what they're doing. So that is how you can play the game. And then everyone else can run DPS. It's like 4 DPS in the same team, which is absolutely insane if you think about it. You output a ton of damage, but that's only if the players that you play with know what they're doing. And obviously in a ranked match, people know a little bit more than standard quick play, which is obviously very good. And like I said, you do need to actually know, for when you're playing DPS especially, actually know where the heal packs are, because you're not always going to get your teammates to heal you. And I managed to flank that rocket, which was great. And then this Loki was just like up my arse essentially. And then I seen this Magneto start following me, so I had to like try and get away. And then by doing that, I used this shield ability quite a lot to just jump quite high in the air to get out of certain scenarios, because it is very useful for doing that. It does waste the shield, to be honest, but sometimes you just need to get out of the area, because even if you use the shield, take the damage, you're going to land back in the same spot, so that's not really going to help you. You want to actually get away from where you're taking damage from. And as I was saying before, you need to know where the health packs are, because right now I need one, and I knew there was one in the room next to me, so I quickly ran to go and get that. But obviously the healer was healing me at the same time, so that was very useful. But I managed to get the heals in anyway. I didn't spot this Black Panther because he was to the left and everyone else was kind of right in front of me. That is something I need to get better at. Spotting players in the air and then kind of trying to listen out for players that are behind me, actually, because sometimes I just focus too much on trying to get the shots in. So I never had a perfect game, which I would have liked to, but obviously that's where the improvement comes in anyway. So it was a solid game. Now, here is where Namor annoys me a little bit, because I like to get into the action as quick as possible, and he's got no speed movement like whatsoever. Like, even if you're playing like some Vanguards, you expect to be slow. DPS you don't expect to be that slow, to be honest, especially any of them, and most of them have some kind of movement stat or movement ability that kind of gets you back in the action a little bit quicker. So it is a bit tough just kind of running to get back into the action again. That's the only thing that annoys me a little bit as well. But he has a solid choice. At this point I had to lead the character because they were tracking left to right. And that's something you do because his spears are not hit scans, so you need to make sure you are kind of tracking the targets as well. Here I almost get this Black Panther again. I'm really like after this Black Panther guy, man. Just focus on him, no one else. I like killing Black Panthers, it's good fun, especially if it's a good one, because Black Panthers can destroy any team, especially in the back line. I was trying to avoid this Jeff the Shark. I think I used my ability here trying to get out of his ultimate, which worked well. So you need to like use it smartly. Sometimes it's not always about using it to protect yourself, it's just sometimes using it to get out of certain situations. So you need to use the bubble sometimes just for that extra height within the game. Again, try to focus as Magneto. Magneto and Black Panther were the two characters I was going up against, because to be honest, the Iron Man was getting taken down quite a lot anyway, and here I could have done a bit more damage hopefully, but I didn't do that. Try and get some heals back in again, same room, same heal, get back in action now. And as you can see here, we're getting back in, just taking out this Loki bot. I'm not too sure what these Loki bots do when no one's in front of them, but I think I seen a Black Panther just swing by my face just 2 seconds ago, and I didn't spot him actually in the game when I was playing, so that's something that you need to kind of keep an eye on. And then this Iron Fist, what a pain in the arse, man. And to try and kill an Iron Fist or any melee character is so tough to track. You need to get your tracking good, and tracking on keyboard and mouse is pretty good. I've seen a lot of pro or top 500 players use Namor as a secondary character, but track very well with him. But on controller, it's so tough, man. Like, tracking on controller is so hard. I don't know if like aim assist on this is just so weak or what it is, but maybe they need a slight buff to aim assist. That would probably help. I do like the way the aim feels. I don't want aim assist to be broken, but I think it does need maybe a slight buff in general, because all characters don't feel fantastic when it comes to tracking on controller. And when you see PC players play, the tracking's insanely good. So I don't know if this game was just built for PC or what, or keyboard and mouse. Again, we've got the Black Panther here, man. I want to kill this guy again. And I managed to finish him off somehow. I don't know if I did like melee damage to him or what I did exactly. I'm not really too sure at that point. I think I tried to melee and then kind of go into a bubble so make sure he doesn't kill me. And here in this game, right, I've noticed that I've not used the secondary attack too much, which I should have used here to try and finish off that Magneto. But I'm just trying to like spam shots now at this point. And then this, like, I kind of used to get up to the high ground, but also see what was going on, because I realized the Scarlet Witch was there. I seen the Magneto, and then I was just trying to use it to see, like, in a protected state, what was up there. And then for some unknown reason, I thought it was safe, but obviously it wasn't. And Scarlet Witch basically has aimbot within this game anyway, so it is tough to fight those characters as well as any other character, especially within that range. The aimbot characters are a bit difficult. So that's Cloak and Dagger and Scarlet Witch. So it's those two characters that have basically got the ability to fire wherever they want, and then you don't need to kind of aim with them. Here I was in a 1v1 fight with this Black Panther. I really wanted to kill him. Like, I thought if he didn't get healed here, I would have had him dead. My Loki helped me a lot here, I'll be honest. I had the squids down. I had my second attack ready to finish him off. But then he like ran away. And that annoyed me because I really wanted the 1v1 fight. I wanted the fight and I wanted to kill him. And if he didn't get healed up, I don't know if he grabbed the heals off the ground. I'm not really too sure, but if he didn't heal up, I would have had him. Genuinely would have had him at that point. And that is what I wanted to do, and that is the game done. So we had a really good game here. Not perfect, but a great game. 32-5 and ranks, pretty solid.